Brighton nil, Crystal Palace nil. No goals, no red cards. Quite uneventful compared to last year's fixtures, but still, there's quite a lot to unpack. Welcome back to the Louis Selling YouTube channel. I am back again with Grace after we previewed the Palace Brighton game last week. This week we're going to review it, talk about it and give our thoughts on what was probably one of the more boring Brighton Palace games in recent years. But we'll start with a summary. And how are you today, Grace?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. Quite happy with a point and a clean sheet away from home. Obviously, it's only our second clean sheet this season, 2 games in a row. Very happy with that, especially away at Selhurst. And with the chances you had, I think Verbruggen made quite a few big saves towards the end, one in the first half. So overall, quite happy. We created a little bit. Dean Henderson made quite a few saves as well, especially from Gomez in the first half. Probably should have scored that. But overall, happy with the point away from home. 11th in the table, still 1 point behind you. What are your thoughts overall on the game?
I just found it quite like they were teasing us with a goal. Like they just kept going up and down, but nothing was actually like happening. So it's not the best game I've ever watched. But yeah, again, like I'm happy with the point as well. Like at least it could have been worse. So it's all right.
Yeah, I mean, after obviously Europe on Thursday, you towards the end you were getting quite fatigued. I think in the last 15-20 minutes, I say we were on top and we probably should have scored in that time with the amount of pressure we were putting on going forward. Sarr had a big chance on the end in the counter attack, which was quite scary. But yeah, I think we can both be happy with a point. Not losing to your rival is always a positive thing.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
more so for us, obviously being away. But
yeah.
yeah, I agree with what you said in terms of the teasing us for a goal. It was you in the middle, very good. We both kind of got to the box and didn't really shoot. I think we had quite a lot of opportunities from the edge of the box to get a shot away. Gomez had quite a few, but we've given it to Minte. I'll get on to Minte in a bit because I think he was really, really poor. But in turn, I think one of your defenders was really, really good. But yeah, it was an interesting game. It wasn't what we predicted. I think we predicted quite high scoring,
Yeah. We said neither of them would keep a clean sheet.
but we both did. Yeah, but the first half was probably the better half of the game. I'd say you had the first big chance with Mateta just putting it over the bar. Then we had a few chances with Gomez. As I said, we were putting a lot of pressure on, not really shooting. Minte had a big chance at the end of the first half that he scuffed completely, should have hit the target. Wharton had a good snapshot from the edge of the box. So did, I can't remember who had the shot, but Verbruggen made a really good save down to his left-hand side that was fantastic. But yeah, what do you think of that first half? Do you think one of us should have scored in that first half, or do you think 0-0 at half-time was probably the right way the game is being played?
I thought it would at least be like 1-1. I think both teams kind of deserved a goal in the first half.
Yeah, I agree. But I'd say the 0-0 isn't the biggest talking point from this game. We'll start with the most embarrassing talking point from a Brighton perspective, and that was Jorginho Rutter's dive in the second half. On TV, it very much looked like a penalty from the original angle, and then they showed from close up, and it was a really, really poor dive. There was no real contact. He left his leg dangling, initiated the contact, and obviously dived. He looked shocked that it wasn't given, but I'm not surprised at all. I think it was a dive, and I'm gonna say that you thought it was a dive too.
Yeah, I did think it was a dive.
But it's just what frustrates me is he didn't need to do it because there was
Yeah.
space for him to carry on and get a shot away. That
Yeah.
from that distance probably would have caused Dean Henderson quite a few issues. And then from that moment, I think the game kind of flipped a little bit on its head, and it gave you a bit of a boost, and you started pushing up a bit more, and were on top there. We dropped off quite a bit. We made a few substitutions. I thought Babis Kostelas was really, really good when he come on with his physicality, holding up the ball. After Rutter was really, really poor as well. Same with Minte. But yeah, I don't know. What did you think of the finish to the game? Do you think you should have won it from there after the penalty?
To be honest, I feel like a draw was kind of fair after that. I just feel like both teams did everything but nothing at the same time. So I'll take a draw from that.
Yeah, I think that's a fair way to sum it up. Did everything but nothing. I think that is pretty much what happened, though. And while we're on the subject of the dive, I think we need to talk about the referee. It's a really hard job being a ref. I've done refereeing before. It's really, really hard, but I think he had a really, really poor game. A lot of soft fouls were given. Obviously, he gave the Jorginho dive. I think Sarr bought quite a lot of fouls. There was one when he ran into Van Hecker. The ref gave a foul, even though he ran into Van Heck. That was really strange. There was one with Joel Veltman. He won the ball. Mitchell put him in a headlock. The ref gave the foul to Palace. I thought that was really, really strange decision. And he was just really inconsistent. A lot of soft things were given. A lot of ones that were fouls weren't given. Yellow cards come out for stuff that I don't really think were yellow cards. But yeah, maybe you disagree from Palace perspective, but certainly from my perspective, trying to be balanced, I think he was really, really poor for both sides.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there were a lot of calls that I disagreed with. Even like calls for Palace, there was some I thought, oh, I wouldn't have given that. But yeah, I guess what could you do?
It's a big issue in the Premier League, really. I think if you look at other countries' top leagues and European competitions, 99% of the time, they're really, really good. And I think one decision that kind of summed up his performance was Van Heck pushed Lerma in the box, but Dunk got the yellow card.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah,
had no idea what was going on.
yeah. It was a bit weird.
Oh no, it was the other way around. I think maybe it was Dunk pushed Lerma and Van Heck got the yellow card. One of them, whoever pushed, didn't
Yeah,
get the yellow card, and it was just a strange, strange decision. But
yeah,
I want to talk now. I don't want to slate the ref too much because, as I said, it's a hard job. I've done it
yeah,
before, and I know a few people that have done it before, and it's really, really hard. With VAR, the VAR did an okay job. I think they got the decision right for the dive. I don't know why he needed to look at the screen and why it took him so long, but
yeah.
and that's a discussion for another day. But we'll talk about individual players now. Who impressed you? Who disappointed you? For Palace and for Brighton as well. Who do you think was
Oh,
standout?
um, I think Canvot was good. He
Yeah,
was really good. He disappointed me. Um, I don't know. I can't think of anyone in particular, to be honest. Who disappointed you? Would you say?
I mean, from Palace, I was quite disappointed with Munoz. I don't think he was that great to what he usually
Yeah,
is.
that's fair.
I think he got beaten quite a lot of times by Kadioglu and Gomez on that left-hand side. But it is kind of not his game because both Kadioglu and Gomez were coming narrow, and Munoz likes to say wide, so I kind of get it. I don't think he did too much going forward. I don't think Mateta was as good as he usually is either.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. I'd agree.
Obviously, I think Walton was quite good in the middle considering he's had an illness.
Yeah,
But Canvo was by far the standout. Your youngest ever Premier League defender, first
yeah,
ever Premier League start, had Minte in his pocket for the whole game. He looked good on the ball. He was strong. He was fast. He was
yeah,
brilliant, and I don't think it you'll be able to keep hold of him for very, very long.
yeah. Probably not, but yeah, I agree. I agree.
I mean, there's still a way to go. Obviously, first start, as I said, but if he keeps those performances up consistently, I don't think Liverpool will be wanting Gahey anymore. I think they'll be wanting
Yeah,
Cam.
yeah,
I think he has though. The I saw someone say on X Marshall Brighton fan, he has those ball playing abilities to play as a midfielder as well, and I agree. I think maybe in the near future you might see him play a few games in the midfield, especially if you get a few injuries for Europe and the fatigue, especially in the midfield with Walton. Might not be able to play all the games. So it'd be interesting to see. In terms of from a Brighton perspective, who impressed me, who let me down. Impressed me, definitely Diego Gomez in the first half. Had
Yeah,
a
that's
lot of
what I would
opportunities
say.
to shoot, was on the ball quite a lot, created a lot. Should have scored the chance in the first half. Should have had more shots, which was really surprising because he likes to shoot. If you saw his goals against Barnsley, he's always shooting, but just not this game. I thought Kadioglu was really impressive at left back. Had the license to kind of follow Sarr anywhere on the pitch. The left back ended up in the midfield on the right wing. I thought that was really, really good. But I thought Bruggen was very, very good as well on the ball, made some big, big saves. 2 clean sheets in a row will be massive for his confidence after quite a lot of criticism at the start of the season, end of last season. But letting me down, I have to say Yankuba Minte. I don't think he got past Mitchell or Canvot once. His
Yeah.
end product was really poor once again. A couple of shots that he scuffed, a couple of crosses that went out for goal kicks. And then in the second half, he wasn't going down the line trying to beat them still. He was cutting back, which worked a bit better, but that's not his game. And that was just really, really frustrating. Obviously, another is Jorginho Rutter on Finalysis. I think I put it was one of, or if not, his worst Brighton performances ever. Every time he got the ball, he lost it. When he did keep it, he didn't do anything with it. Obviously, died for the penalty. And it was just really, really poor for him. Really slowed out the office, but it happens. It is
Yeah.
what it is, I suppose. But the subs, I thought Kostelis impressed me, as I said. Hopefully he gets a
Yeah,
few minutes.
I agree.
Not against starting him against Brentford after the international break with how poor Rutter has been. He was good against Newcastle, good against Leeds in the second half, but let's give some of the younger attackers a go and see what they can do.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Danny Welbeck's performance as well? Because we touched on his England call-up. Did he do what you thought he was going to do, or was he a bit hot and cold?
I think he did play quite well. I thought he was going to score a few points, but I feel like it wasn't his best performance ever, but like it wasn't his worst.
Yeah, I can agree. I think I gave him like a 7
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
rating. But yeah, I think overall it was kind of both teams would rather not have lost than try to win the game sort of performance,
I agree.
which is understandable with the context. But you want to see wins, you want to see goals, especially in a rivalry. There wasn't any big tackles either, which was quite disappointing.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, the next game, at the Amex, Brighton Palace game at the Amex is, I think it's February. I might be lying. I think
it's February. I think it's like early.
Yeah,
like
I think
fourth
it's
or third or something.
So I'm sure we'll be back for another preview and reaction on that. But
definitely.
Yeah, we've got the international break now, which is a bit disappointing because
I know.
we didn't have one that long ago, and it kind of the fitness, the injuries debate comes into it once again. Mark Gahey missed the game with an injury, probably going to miss the England games now, which is probably a blessing in disguise for Palace.
Yeah, true.
But after this international break, we've got, I think it's not until March, the next one after this international break. So December, January, February, and a bit of March.
Okay, nice.
Loads of football. The busy Christmas period coming up. Lots of games. More so for Palace. Already played 19 games this season compared to Brighton's 14.
Wow.
So we'll see how you fare after Christmas.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming on once again, Grace.
Thank you for having me on.
See you. Well, we might see Grace on another video tonight.
Oh yeah.
We'll see what comes from that. It is Remembrance Day today as well, so make sure you've paid your respects. We'll be doing a minute's silence a bit later. You'll see what video is coming out. It might come out this evening, depending what time I get back. Probably more likely tomorrow. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for coming on once again, and I'll see you very, very soon for another video. You know the outro by now. Do it with me. Adios.